is Bryce Van Patten from Metal Express Radio Backstage. Today, my guest is the lead singer for one of the fast-rising heavy metal bands that just keep on getting better with every release. I'm talking about the band Immortal Guardian, and my guest is the one and only vocalist Carlos Zema. For
right.
any viewers or people that aren't familiar with Immortal Guardian, how would you describe the sound of the band?
Well, the kids call it super metal. That's the best I can say. I don't know, man. We listen to, Lamb of God all the way to Dream Theater. So we like everything in between, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're a big fan of aggressive metal, the heavier extreme metal stuff. And we're also, big fans of traditional heavy metal, power metal, and things like that. So I guess it's a mix of everything. We try to keep the melodies interesting, but we also got to keep, we like to keep it heavy.
Awesome. So after the success of the 2021 Psychosomatic album, which, by the way, is still one of my favorite albums.
Thanks.
There's a lot of anticipation for your new record, and you've released 5 singles so far, I think, all with videos.
Yeah.
And so is it the plan to release a video for every song?
That's correct.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So we are basically autosufficient, right? So we do all our production and audio, and we got, pretty proactive on that, pretty efficient. And we decided why not too, right? To have one video for each song, with keeping in mind that we wanted to keep that momentum, right? Because on the nowadays standpoint, releasing a full album, dropping it's gonna basically be forgotten in a couple of months. Nobody's gonna be talking about it anymore, But what many bands are doing right now, like Mastodon, Megadeth. The bands are dropping the singles, and then on the very end, they release the new album with the 2 or 3 new songs for the people that, actually buy the album, So this is basically the same format that we're thinking about here, but also thinking of delivering the themes of the song in a visual form, right? So this is what we're trying to do with the releasing, singles before releasing the full album, right? So the plan is to have 2 more singles before the album drops. The release in Japan and Asia, is done by Warner Records, and what we're doing is they're not releasing the singles there, so they're just going to release the album in Asia, the full album, in the regular way. But we do have, Japanese bonus tracks, 2 Japanese bonus tracks that we have in a sleeve. Both of them with videos as well. So we have one of the videos we did. One of our songs we recorded in Japanese. So we did the whole entire song in Japanese. We've had actually a couple of friends from Japan that sat down with us in the studio, and we hung out for a whole entire day and came with the closest direct translation with still trying to rhyme it and fit in the metric and everything. So there was a very elaborate work here to get that perfectly done the way that we wanted. So we finished it and recorded it. And we have a special guest of Yuri from Ibria, which is a band that, wasn't actively residing in Japan for over 15 years. They sold out big arenas over there, and they've been a really big band. And it happens that, some of the members are from Brazil. So that, also happened. But all of,
Yeah, you have a connection then,
Yes, on my end, but at the same time, Yuri and some of the guys, they actually speak fluent Japanese for being there and whatnot, so that will help. As having a special guest that would be able to sing in Japanese.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's used to be that bands would drop maybe 2 videos for an album, and then you'd wait for the whole album. And then in the last years, it's been going up to 4, 5, 6 songs. So
exactly.
So that's what I was kind of going to talk about anyway. Is since creating content is such a huge thing, and so you guys do all that in house.
Yeah.
Right. How do you?
Yeah, we produce everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually me, Gabriel, and our former manager, who's still really, really good friend of mine, and ours actually. He was working with us for many years. His name is Brett Rivera. So he's a very, very talented video director, has done videography for a long time. And even though he's not actively as a manager in the band anymore, he's still with the team, So anytime that he has an opportunity to come here and we try to work our schedules together to get it. But we usually, me, Gabriel, and him, we sit down and come up with what the plot's going to be and things like that, what we're talking about, what is it possible over here. Even some crazy ideas that we needed to gravitate towards CGI, such as in Stardust, Southern Rain, and some other songs that we did that involved CGI. We had friends here in Vegas and actually from all over the world that are big fans of the band that work with that kind of, technology on the visual digital design here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
2D and 3D, because I'm a graphic designer myself. So, the Age of Revolution cover and some other like graphics that we make, actually all the artwork until Psychosomatic, which we wanted to do a different kind of visual, identity. So I had an artist in mind that I wanted to work with for many years, which was Natalia, which she did covers for Angra, Alma, a bunch of other bands. But
yeah,
that was great. That was great working with her. Also, this last one, we decided to use AI, because the theme of Unite and Conquer is basically just getting all our human issues, I guess, mm-hmm. and things we did in the world. So it's just this whole concept of going back to where there was no conflict, going back to, I guess, Adam and Eve, as per se, like when, at a certain point in some points in history as well, right, where a whole community in that area lived in harmony for many, many years, such as the extinct societies, right, and civilizations, right, such as exactly. Mayan, Incas, and many others, Aztecs, right? So we're talking about here the concept of just having that, if we basically could, forget our differences, conflicts, and whatnot, and just come together as a worldwide society here without, discrimination, separation, and whatnot. So this is basically the concept of Unite and Conquer. So we wanted to have something that was, with that concept in mind, So we wanted not even have a human hand drawing the cover. So we just, AI that thing.
Awesome. So I want to talk about, you guys have a new single called Roots Run Deep, and you've got a special guest singer sharing duties with you. And can you tell us a little bit about that and how that all came to be?
Yes, definitely. So me and Rolf Scheepers, we've toured together in 2010, 2011, something like that. And I was doing an album with Metal Mike. So we did an album together, and the plan was for me to fly up there to the East Coast and finish the album with him, and then right next day go on tour for for that album. So that's what we did. The goal was to to get the album material, visual material, and whatnot to kind of work on the release down the road. So that was a very smart idea at the time, and I'm really good friends with Mike. We've always worked together, for a long time in little things here and there. And I thought, why not? Because I love Mike and I love what he does, So we went out. I went to his house. We produced the whole, recorded all the vocals and whatnot. And then we went on tour at the time with Primal Fear.
Mm-hmm.
So we toured with Primal Fear and a few shows over there. And we did, in the band, we had John Macaluso, which played with a bunch of other bands like, Symphony X, TNT, and some others. We had Cliff Arndt, which is an amazing musician on the bass.
Mm-hmm.
And then Metal Mike on guitar and sharing vocals with me as well. But all those guys ended up, we ended up working together down the road too, and some other things. But Ralph was coming in. Mike was going in for a special guest with Primal Fear. We got to hang with them. We wrote a leg of that run we did in their bus, so we were hanging out and whatnot. So we became really good friends, and I thought of that part of the song that we wrote when we were writing the song, really.
Mm-hmm.
When there was that part, and I decided to go with the vocal lines that were, at the moment I thought, man, if I could record, I'm going to record a line over here because I want, Ralph to do something in the future and whatnot. And I totally thought of him when we were doing this. So,
yeah, I was going to say, Ralph is a really hot commodity right now. He's doing guest appearances on everything, the last two Michael Schenker albums. And it's awesome. It feels like the lines were definitely written for him,
Exactly. And he's hitting the road with Avantasia right now. So we thought, this is a great moment over here in Ralph's career for also to be a part of the, as a special guest of one of our songs here. And I thought, why not? So I hit him up and I was like, brother, this is the deal here. I really want you as a special guest here in the song. And I've recorded his vocal lines here. I'm going to send it to you. Tell me what you think. And he was like, no, man, I don't even need to see how it is and whatnot, man. I would record it, man. What do you want? I was like, well, so do it for like the, this second verse here that I would change the verse so I could put this vocal melody that's more like on your vibe.
Yeah.
Record that and a chorus, and then the rest of it we'll move around. We'll repeat the chorus down the road so you can also have like an active placement of your voice throughout
as it builds up.
Yeah. So I was like, let's do it. And he goes, yeah, man, let's do it. So 2 days later, he sends me all the vocal tracks and the video, everything.
Wow.
So I was like, damn, that's pro right there, man. He's a pro. So I love Rolf, man. He's a super humble dude, super talented. Also has been an influence on my singing, for many, many years. I've been listening to his stuff since Gamma Ray and back in the early years. And so, I love what he does. I love how pro he is, how he delivers it. So it was a no-brainer, honestly.
Yeah. So speaking about content, you cover like a range of styles, like you mentioned, everything from Lamb of God to Dream Theater. And you recently did an acoustic cover of Iron Maiden's Children of the Damned.
Yeah.
How much fun was that putting together?
Oh, I love it, man. Maiden is my school. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did that cover with a great guitar player friend of mine called Elias Acevedo.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's a super talented, not only guitar player but also keyboard player. He's a great piano player, and he's a great songwriter. He's music writing skills are in a whole nother level. One of the best arrangers that I personally know, and a great musician, man. And he's every time I go to Texas, we get to jam together. So one day when actually when I moved from Newport Beach down to Austin, I spent about I would say a year there before moving to Las Vegas, right? So that was that time that I was there. So Elias came to hang out at the house because I met him through Apple before, and then we became instant great friends, because he was a big fan of Rusty Cooley at the time when I joined Outworld. And, one day he saw me, at Apple over there, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey man, are you that guy from Outworld?" I was like, "Yeah." And then we just became, instant friends. He's super shredder, man, super shredder. But he also plays excellent acoustic guitar, so
yeah,
he's a big fan of that flamenco, and everything. So he plays all that stuff, but he's also a big Maiden fan.
Yeah.
So that was a great jam, man. I loved jamming with Elias. Yeah.
So I was going to ask you what are the plans for Immortal Guardian for the rest of 2023?
Well, new album, right?
Right.
So we still have, if you count the album, we'll have 4 more releases here. Right. So we have one more special guest coming in with us for this new album.
Yeah, you can tell me, or is that a secret?
Well, guess what? We have already recorded and everything, so I guess we could. But and from here, we'll see how it ripples, right? From over here.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
I love to do these kind of things. So basically, we're gonna have Yuri, which I spoiled over here, which is gonna be on a Japanese release. But
awesome.
You know how the internet is nowadays, right?
Yeah.
We have that release with on the Asia territory, which we're having one more special guest also that I'm honestly not sure who it's gonna be for this track, but it's gonna be one of the tracks that we're gonna put as bonus track as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you familiar with Vicky from The Agonist?
I'm not.
Yeah, so she's Vicky Psarakis is like one of my opinion, the best extreme vocalist and also melodic vocalist in the scene nowadays. Very talented, great tones, great deliver and whatnot. So what we instantly thought of, invited her to do it. It was in this song. It's called "Lost in the Darkness," and it's a very different song from the rest of the album. I would say very melodic. It has this cadence to kind of taking some parts. Very we needed a delivery of a female vocalist for it, especially with the theme of the song, and whatnot. So yeah, and she did an amazing job, man. And again, it was another singer that, hey, you're down, and then a couple of days later she dropped the tracks and awesome. And everything. So
that's awesome.
This is going to be really cool. She is based in Canada, right? So she sings for The Agonist, and which is our drummer Justin. He actually practices in the same studio as they do, so they're also homies and whatnot. So that was how we we got in touch, through Justin Piedemonte. So we're super stoked, man. Super stoked about it. Is a very good moment for Immortal Guardian over here, man. It's been a lot of fun, It's been a lot of fun. Now the plans for 23 are basically falling into doing as many masterpieces as we can over here for this year in terms of the digital deliver, right?
Right.
So some of these videos we have already shot, some we have not yet. So we're doing this, this work, this build up here in order for us to deliver, the best material possible. This is what the band is concentrating for this year, honestly.
Awesome.
With the logistics of touring, gas prices and whatnot, recession / everything else happening in the world, right? We're kind of like tactfully making our moves here. This is not going to be like, when, another, let's go this run, this and that. No, we're planning on the next step being a little bit bigger here.
Excellent.
Yeah, so this is where we're at for 2023.
Excellent. So did we miss anything? Anyone you want to do a shout out or anything else before we wrap it up?
Well, shout out for our producer Josh that made us everything, sound so great. Shout out also for Gabriel, because Gabriel is, being on the background here, also running everything else. Everything he touches, actually moves. So it's great.
Absolutely.
It's great to have Gabriel, such work ethic and talent and whatnot. But also special thanks to Rex Van Candy, which does all the CGI for us in our videos. Brett Rivera for the video production on everything. Also Marco Barbieri from our label that's giving us a super support here. John Asher that's happening with the PR. Satellite Touring that's booking everything that we do. Also special guests, guests they're coming in, right? So special thanks, to Rolf and Vicky and Yudi and everybody that's going to come on board. There's a couple of other ones that I actually can't say because I don't know yet. But
excellent. Looking forward to it for sure.
Yes, and a big thanks to you too, brother. Thanks for supporting the scene here, man, and and putting the word out. And thank you for representing, man, with the shirt.
you noticed.
Yes, I did. Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for coming out to our show in Portland over in Dantes, man.
Yeah, and thanks for taking time when we did that nice interview down in the basement.
Of course.
Great getting to chat with all you guys. I've just since your Psychosomatic came out, to me, you guys are like this gem that everybody needs to find out about. You're kind of need to be in more people's playlists, and you're working on that. You guys got an awesome production schedule going, and I like how you're turning everything out. I mean, in this age, you've got to keep things going. Last question: do you have any more cover videos coming out?
Yes. So you're working in this. We're trying to do some crazy twist here, right? So we have an Adele cover we're doing. We have another Iron Maiden cover we're doing.
I can't wait to hear the Adele cover. So.
Oh, brother, it's a very weird. We wanted to do something weird, right? So let's see how it goes. It's just one thing that we've always been with Immortal Guardian is we've never been afraid, man, of trying new things out.
Yeah.
So we've done the Shred Sled, which was initially there was a stupid and crazy idea, which turned out to putting us on X Games on. Open for Judas Priest and a bunch of other Metallica and a bunch of other badass bands here, but also this is how the Immortal Guardian moves, right? We just want to do a crazy thing here. When pandemic hit, we were the first bands to be doing the live performance on the internet, as a band, the whole full band, and
no,
so
you guys really keep the content flowing, and because you got to have stuff going like every week,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, twice a week, I would say there would be.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you have something happening and
exactly
get it all scheduled out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so that things all drop on it. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
once you get your system going, which you guys definitely have, and looking forward to the next thing. And thanks again, Carlos. Awesome talking to you. And
likewise, brother.
Can't wait to see you up here in town again. So.
Yeah, can't wait, man. That's a really fun town to play at.
All right. Thanks a lot, Carlos.
You too. Have a good one, brother. Keep on rocking.
Bye.
Bye.